Good morning and welcome to another episode of Add Water and Stir, a dental sleep apnea training video. This morning's topic is going to be adding patients to your practice, some tips and tricks to bring in some fresh blood. This morning we are eating blueberries in honor of National Blueberry Month in July. A much more dental-friendly snack than the one we were enjoying last week.
You mean the donuts?
Yeah, well, those were good.
Blueberries are definitely better for your health. I understand they're high in antioxidants, so enjoy, everybody, and thanks for tuning in.
Awesome. So without any further ado, I am going to get out of frame, and I'm going to let Dr. Greenman take it away.
Thank you, Nicole. So last time, on our last broadcast of Add Water and Stir, I promised to talk about how you develop your dental sleep medicine practice. How do you get patients? How do you build community awareness? How do you network with doctors, physicians? And that's what I wanted to talk about today. Dental sleep medicine is in the news, and it's been in the news constantly throughout the last 2 decades. And the reason is that there are many disasters that have occurred due to excessive daytime sleepiness, or EDS. Probably the most notable was the Hoboken train crash, which took place in the terminal in Hoboken, New Jersey. And it turns out that the engineer had undiagnosed severe obstructive sleep apnea, fell asleep at the switch, plowed into the lobby area, the waiting area of the train station, injured 114 people. I think at least one person was killed. Quite a disaster, and it led to some changes that Mario Cuomo, the governor of New York, implemented, which included testing. Mandatory testing for railroad personnel throughout the state of New York, and treatment. Now, this is the reason why your patients know about this, and this is something that you can develop and you can start with your own patient base. We told you last time that up to 25% of your patients who are sitting in your reception room, in your reception rooms, have undiagnosed obstructive sleep apnea. Our obligation as healthcare professionals and as dentists is to recognize those people and to bring it up, to talk about it with our patients. So, how do you do that? Well, first of all, you got to ask permission to ask questions. And I think the segue is that because we're dentists, we are uniquely positioned to recognize the main signs of sleep apnea. Would it be okay if I ask some questions? So, what might a question be? Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being best, how would you rate the quality of your sleep? I mean, that's a pretty benign question. Everybody loves to talk about how they slept the night before. And so, you'll get a good answer to that, and then that can lead to some more questions. They might say, oh, well, it's only a 6. And no matter what number they tell you, your next comeback is always, well, why did you rate yourself the way you did? And that would lead to some more discussion. The next question would be, on the same scale, rate your level of daytime energy and have a discussion about that as well. You do want to bring up snoring, but I would recommend that you kind of bring up the snoring issue toward the last, after a person gets comfortable talking about their sleep and understands that you're not there to judge them, you're there to help them. So that's one way to go, and I like this one-on-one approach, even if you were to use some form of questionnaire. We at DSM Solutions really pride ourselves on Add Water and Stir. That means that our clients have access to all of these materials that I use personally in my practice each and every day. And we'd love to have you as a client so that we can help you to develop your dental sleep medicine practice, to help you on this journey, to help you to develop the type of dental sleep medicine practice that fits with your general dental practice, just like I've done with mine. It's important that you have internal systems. You need to be able to hand off between team members, whether it's the diagnosis, what comes next with your patient, financial arrangements, etc. Enrolling patients in testing is key. Remember, we're talking about patients who have not previously been diagnosed. Well, the only way to diagnose this is to have a sleep study. Well, whereas before it required in-lab studies, 18 to 21 channels attached to the body, monitoring by a sleep technician during the sleep overnight period, video recording, etc., in a strange environment. So essentially, a very poor night's sleep for the average person. Now with home sleep apnea testing being well accepted, meeting the standard of care, many insurance companies actually will not approve an in-lab if a home sleep testing is possible for a patient. So home sleep testing is key. And owning your own equipment is one way to go. And now there are also third parties that will ship equipment directly to your patient, get you the reports, etc. I started my practice, I really jump-started it through advertising, and I'm a big proponent of getting the word out. Why? Well, the key patients that we want to reach out to in our community are patients who've tried and failed CPAP. Half of the people who get the CPAP aren't using them after a year, and probably half of those that have it are using it reluctantly or really not enough to be totally effective. The compliance rate, to be considered compliant, let's say under Medicare guidelines, there's a very low bar that's set for that. Essentially 4 hours per night, 5 nights per week. So that's only 20 hours of sleep per week that a person needs to wear a CPAP in order to be considered compliant under Medicare guidelines. So as you can see, if we have a better solution as dentists, and we have a much higher compliance rate, up to 80% compliance, 6 hours per night, 6 nights per week on average. So because of our superior compliance with our appliances, our devices have proven to be not inferior to the CPAP for many, many conditions that we measure, including daytime sleepiness, reaction time, blood pressure, etc. So that said, you got to get the word out. Advertising really does work. Advertising in newspapers works because remember, this is a condition that skews older, and older people like me love to read the newspaper every day. Other advertisements you can use, kiosk advertisements. Those are something you could put in a local shopping center that's near to your office, or if you're in a shopping center, put in advertisements for this. This will make you also stand out because there's so many dentists advertising. There's hardly a day goes by in my community where we don't have something coming in the mail advertising, some coupon for free cleaning or this or that from a dentist. Well, that kind of just gets lost in the weeds. This will set you apart, will make you unique. Radio advertising in many communities work. Radio advertising that includes a testimonial. I don't know, Nicole, should I play it?
Sure.
Okay, so let's see if we can play this. I turned up the volume.
Well, without the mouth guard and suffering from sleep apnea, I was drowsy during the day. If I sat down to watch TV, I'd doze off. I almost got in a few car accidents because of, dozing off. Now I never do that. I go to sleep and I don't wake up till it's time to wake up. It's just changed 180 degrees completely, being able to sleep.
If you suffer from obstructive sleep apnea and are looking for a proven alternative to CPAP, please call Greenman Smile Concepts at 8333-NO-CPAP.
So, this is an ad campaign that I've started and sharing it with clients as well in other parts of the country and allowing them the same opportunity that I have to attract more patients. when you do get a patient from your advertisements, now you have the opportunity to segue into networking with physicians. Now this also will work with your existing patient base, and this, we certainly could talk about that if you wish. All you have to do is get a hold of me. But once you do get a sleep study, this sleep study will list typically two physicians: the referring physician, who's typically a primary care physician, and the interpreting physician, who's a board certified sleep physician. This now gives you the opportunity to interface with two doctors. Remember, you want to be part of the community. You want to develop this relationship with the medical community so that you become the go-to person in your community for dental sleep medicine. So by getting these sleep studies and reaching out to these doctors, that's how you develop a referral-based practice. Other community advertisements that you can do, certainly your online presence, that's an important thing, and this is our social media connection for our dental sleep medicine practice, and then your website as well. And remember, your website needs to target CPAP alternative. Sure, you can talk about consequences of untreated obstructive sleep apnea, you can certainly mention that, but target your search engine optimization, your keywords, to CPAP alternative. Other ways to attract patients are community involvement. And if your community has opened up some and you can do it safely, health fairs, street fairs, 10K runs, cycling, those sorts of events, you can set up a booth. They don't cost very much to do. You get to talk to a lot of folks. Your teams can rotate through, and you can develop leads and often make appointments at these. Typically, my office will participate in a Rotary Street Fair every fall, and we usually will come away with 10 to 15 patients just from doing that alone. So this is another way for you to go to develop your practice. And so, in summary, you want to be part of the team. You want to be an integral member of the sleep medicine community, in your area. That means interfacing with physicians. That means practicing this specialty to the standard of care. And I can't stress enough how important it is that as dentists, we get on board with doing this according to the guidelines that have been set forth by the respective academies, okay? So community outreach, marketing and networking, all of this is part of your brand, your telephone number, how you treat people. And the other thing I want to add is that because this is such a unique way of attracting new patients, you have the opportunity to convert so many more patients coming in to dental patients, okay? Remember, your best patient, your best referral is a word of mouth referral. Well, successfully treating an obstructive sleep apnea patient, and then that patient asking to become your dental patient, that's a golden referral. Those patients are terrific, and I encourage you to think about adding this service, dental sleep medicine, to your practice to really make you unique. So what have you been doing? Okay, what have you been doing? DSM Solutions is here to help. I think I'm going to let Nicole come in now and talk about how you can find us. I mean, wherever you are on your journey to implementing this wonderful service into your practice, no matter where you are, we want to help. We are here to help. You can reach me, Dr. Greenman. You can find me easily. Stephen Greenman, Google me. You will find me. You certainly can call me and reach out in various ways. But I want to move over and let you take over here and talk about how you find us. So Nicole is going to come over.
Absolutely.
I'm going to do-si-do and let her finish.
Well, cheers to another episode of Add Water and Stir.
Thank you.
You can find us online at our website, dentalsleepmedicinetraining.com. You can find us on Instagram at DSM Solutions CA. You can find us on Facebook at DSM Solutions, or you can give us a good old-fashioned telephone call at 818-561-6715, or feel free to shoot us an email at info@dentalsleepapneatraining.com. So with that, July is a wrap, and we will see you all next month for our August episode.
What are we going to talk about?
I don't know. Maybe we should talk about some of the new appliances that offices can make for their patients that are comfortable and innovative and tried and true.
Okay, yeah,
All
certainly
right.
can do that. All right.
Awesome.
All right.
All right, everyone.
All right, bye-bye.
Happy 4th of July.